Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I am doing the Scavenger hunt put on by Janet M. Young. I'll have her link in the description box below. The 4 prompts that I randomly got today is something circus, add a pocket, book page, and postage. And I decided that I would turn this into the inside of a circus tent, sort of, like, yeah. I added the Stabilo all. It would not come to me. And drew kind of the lines to make it look like a circus tent. And then I'm adding just matte medium to blend it out, make shading. Does it look like kind of like curtainy now? That was the intent anyway. I do wipe up a little bit of this because it gets kind of smeary. It was a lot of Stabilo all. All right, and I decided purple and orange go together. Are those circusy colors? They could be, right? Circusy colors, purple and orange. I'm just adding them to make it a little bit more interesting than just the black. I'm kind of creating a little bit of shading and depth. You know, you've got the ceiling, the sidewall, and the back wall of the circus tent. That's the idea I was going with anyway. How are you today? I'm doing good. Today is not too bad. I did miss getting an upload last Wednesday. Just plumb forgot. Had plenty of footage, just didn't even cross my mind. Which is really crazy considering I have uploaded every Wednesday for a really long time. And yeah, it was just gone. Okay, I'm sorry I'm a little off the screen there. I decided to add a little bit of white to highlight the lines there. That is China marker, actually. And I've got to add my birds, right? Because I picked birds for this year, and every page has to have one. And I thought these looked like good circus birds. Do they look like circus birds? And I'm just using, I think they're King Art gel crayons for that purple and the orange. I like how they kind of blend. You can just add them on and then blend them with your fingers. Okay, one of the prompts was a book page, so we're going to put a swing for the birds to be sitting on, and I just cut a piece of book page, and we're going to make it look like a bench or swing. And making it look like wood. Trying to anyway. And then just a little fuzz around the outside. A little bit of that scorched timber. There we go. Does it look like a board that the swing could be attached to? Hopefully it does. And hopefully it sticks out far enough so you can see it on the other side of the bird. I'm just going to glue that onto the bird. Glue it to the bird first and then figure out where I'm going to place it. I'm not like a real fan of circusy themed stuff, so this one was a little harder to come up with. But I do like it. In the end, I like how it turned out. I feel like the birds are disappearing, so I'm going to put a little bit of the purple behind them so that we can see them better. Just smearing that with my finger. It's a little rough, but it works. All right, there we go. Now we'll glue that on. I'm just using my favorite glitter glue. I love that fine tip. I did try the Barely Arts glue that has a fine tip, but I think I do like this one better. That one has a longer needle, and I bent it like it was too long. All right, so it's going to be a rope swing. I've got a little bit of, I think it's jute. And another thing I like about this glitter glue is it bonds quickly. So I got to hold that in place because it's got bends in it. So the glue's got to make it stay straight. Do the other side. I'm not going all the way off the page because that's supposed to be the roof right there, that orange at the top. So I'm just going to that point. At least that's what I was thinking while I did it. All right, so I didn't have you watch me draw this because it was hard. I saw this online, and so I tried to replicate it. And so it says, this is my circus, and these are my monkeys. Well, I'm going to put like a label over the monkeys that says birds. So this is my circus, and these are my birds. And I did it in pencil so that I could get it the way I wanted it, and then went over it in ink. I'm trying to decide where the colors should go. I think I used red. It could be kind of an orange color. It looks pretty red to me there. Yeah, I think it's red. I don't think I had orange, or I would have done the colors in orange because that would have made more sense. There's the birds. All right, so I'm going to get out my paper trimmer and cut this. And there was a prompt, add a pocket, so we're going to turn this into a pocket. And I had some stamped tickets, so I figured I would put the tickets in the pocket. That paper trimmer needs a new blade, I think. Sorry for the bouncy camera. I get too eager and I don't think about it, and I hit that button and I don't wait for the camera to stop shaking before I start to create. And I know I say this a lot, but it's true. Yeah, I'm doing it around the birds because I want it to be obvious that it's like a pasted on sort of thing. Got my tickets. Okay, let's grab the book. Clear the path. Grab the book. Okay, this is where it's going to go. That's where I figured was the best place, was in the bottom corner. And we're just going to glue that on like a pocket. Barely fits without going over the bird's tail feathers. Then we're gonna glue the bird over the monkeys. And I stuck the tickets in there, and you know what? They're kind of loose. Like, they could get lost all the way down in there. But I set them in there for now. And I decide my birds need some zhuzhing up, so I grab out my Wink Stella and just add a little sparkle. I don't even think you can tell. I can tell if I look really hard. I just put it on the black and white areas. My bird's beak is sticking out. There we go. I decided I needed more orange to really make, I don't know, I just felt like I needed more orange. So I just added in. And at this point, I think I had completely forgotten that I needed to add postage. So that was an afterthought. So I just tuck those in. I set the book aside, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need postage. So I tried to find postage with a bird on it, but instead I found one that looks kind of like fireworks. So how am I going to do that? I don't like it. It doesn't go, right? It doesn't feel like it belongs anywhere. Like there would have been okay. But then I decide, okay, we're going to stick it in the pocket, but everything's just too loose. Like it's too, like I'm sitting there thinking about it. How can I solve this problem? So what I decide to do is, yeah, this is just a random scrap piece of paper. I decide to make a little booklety thing. And I'm going to glue the tickets on one side and then put the postage inside. And it can't just be boring white. We have to do something to the paper. So I'm clearing everything out of the way. I'm going to smush down some, that one's fired brick in the Distress Oxide. And we're just going to dip the, oh yeah, I wanted separation of dots. So we're just smushing it in. Yes, this is the smush technique. And the dippy droppy technique. I cut out the drying. I used the heat gun on it. I cut that out, and we're just going to smush some purple on there and then dry it again. It sort of relates, right? And I mean relates to the book, like the purple and orange, sort of, maybe, a little. Trying to straighten it back out. It got pretty warped. I decide to take the wilted violet and go around all my tickets and around my little, I'm calling it a booklet. I don't know what it is. Card? So now my hands are purple. I'm going to glue the tickets on there so they look like they're randomly tucked in the pocket. There we go. I'm going to put that just on the inside. I guess I used glue stick on that one. So what do you think? Was it a good resolution? I just got a little bit of color and added that. That was just the fired brick, just to cover up the white on the tickets. And then, of course, I got to add a quote, right? So it says, once fears are grounded, dreams take flight. I know some kids have dreamed of leaving with the circus. We're joining the circus. All right, and they're going to go right in there. And then you can see the ends of the tickets. Perfect. I thought it was a good resolution. A couple of pictures of it. And then I've got one more. I did one more page on this video today. Should be a fairly quick one. The prompts were black background, look through a keyhole, and add sparkle. That's tough. So I used my painter's tape to create a keyhole shape. And then I'm going to paint the rest of it black. That'll be my black background. Figured I better do something to protect the other pages. I always forget to stick something in there, and it is for the best. I'm lucky if I don't have it roll under on the underside of the page. That does happen. The background papers that I'm using were part of a long haul gel print, so I have tons of those shell-shaped stencil prints, and I just turned them all into a book and decided to use them in the scavenger hunt last year. And then I didn't fill the book, so I divided the 100 goals into the number of pages I had left. And that's why some of my prompts had 4. And then I think the rest of my pages will have 3 prompts each. And I was talking about the paper because the prints are quite textured. So it took a little bit of effort to get the black on there solidly. So I had to keep going back in and catching little spots that you could still see some white. And like I said, this one is a fairly basic sort of page. If I can get the tape off without making a mess of something. There's my keyhole. I decided to add a dragonfly inside the keyhole. I didn't want to cut his tail off, so I just made him kind of silhouetted by the keyhole. And this is holographic paint, called holographic paint. Oh, it's hologram. It's by Folk Art. It says extreme glitter on it. And then it's 2796E hologram, superior coverage. And once it dries, you don't see any color, just sparkle. It's kind of fun. And we're going to have that bird eyeing that dragonfly. Decided to glue this one down with a glue stick. Try not to hurt his feet or his legs. I tend to tear things that are that skinny when I'm using a glue stick. Fiddling with them because they weren't laying the right way. I decided to outline the dragonfly's wings because they weren't really visible. Like, yeah, if you tilt it at an angle, you can see the glitter, but you really couldn't see those wings. So I just go around it with a pen, and I think that helped. Then I end up going around the bird because I can't help myself. I start outlining, it's just goes, I go crazy with the outlining. And I pulled out a gold Posca. It wasn't bright enough, so I wipe it back off. Can't remember if I try a different one or I just add more, prime it a little bit better, I think. And then go in with some colored pencil. I think I go in some colored pencil and some regular pencil, trying to create a little bit of shading. So there's a little bit of depth between the keyhole and what I would assume is a wall back there with this crazy orange print on it. Crazy orange wallpaper, right? I first do it this maroon color, which is a colored pencil. I think it's a Crayola. It's just sitting with my pens, so I tend to grab it a lot, even though, you know, it's not too hard to find a different color somewhere else, not too far away. My colored pencils aren't that far away. Why is it we go for the things that are convenient? Decided that number 2 pencil wasn't dark enough, so I went for a gray. I think it's Prismacolor. One of the gray shades. To try and create that shadow. And then crisp up the line with my little trusty black pen. I'm really liking that black pen. It's super thin. Super thin. Don't know what I'll do when I run out. I better do a Google image search and see if I can find it. If I find it, I'll link it down below. In fact, any products I use, I will try and link below if I can figure out what I used. All right, that's enough shading. And of course, add a quote, and it says, "What will you find through the keyhole?" I don't know if that was a quote or if I just decided to do that because I wanted to write on the black. Using my favorite Decoris white pen, which is now out and not for sale anywhere anymore. So sad. Gonna have to come up with a new white favorite white pen. Anyway, there they are, the 2 pages. What do you think? Kind of fun. This scavenger hunt challenge is a really fun challenge. If you haven't taken it up, you still have time. A lot of people are doing a lot more than 3 or 4 prompts on a page, and you can do that. It counts. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.